Hey guys, welcome back to my channel Anna's vlog. So let's get right into this video. So I'm gonna be reading horror Reddit stories of this. I've taken some screenshots and some of them are in the tablet. So let us read the first story. Okay, so this is the first story. Should I put it right over here or should I put it here? Let's put it here, I think. I hope that's fine. Okay, so this first story, I heard whistling in the back of Hops and whistled back. Big mistake. Written by Art Chindi. Okay, now let's put it like this, okay? Let me put it, I'm gonna read it like this. Let's put it, yes, let's read. Perfect, yes, perfect, okay? Now I hope you can hear me. It was a cold night in February. The night air bit my cheeks as I pedaled on. I shouldn't have stayed so long at Eric's house, I thought. I think Eric is his friend, I think, because he's saying that he shouldn't have stayed at Eric's house. And if you're wondering why I'm not reading from this paper, actually, some of this is very unclear. So most of it is in the tablet. So if something's unclear, I'm gonna read this paper, okay? So let's see the story. I thought to myself, Eric was my best friend, and we liked visiting with each other, so we could talk and hang out this particular night. We had gone over to play Overwatch, as he had just got it on his PlayStation, and I was too poor to own one of my own. Well, we had gotten carried away, and before I knew it was sun going down. I kept pedaling, trying to focus on the dark road ahead of me. It was about a mile between her houses. It wasn't much, some trailer houses, and the hops, whole fields of them. But they were correctly all but polled are now as their growing season hadn't yet started. How do poles grow? Like, maybe there's some error in this, but whatever. Instead, there were clumps of string that held once up. The plants came to a reluctant stop as I needed to rest my legs. I wasn't in the best shape after all. I took a moment to look around. The hops seemed ominous in the dark, tall poles with clumps of string between them. Some of the clumps were so big they appeared like severed heads hanging from the support strings. It was just then that I heard it, a light, airy tune, somewhere far into the hop fields. It sounded mournful and sad. I looked around for the source of it, yet, despite the lack of any actual hop plants, anyways, it was some. I could. The plants blocked my view. I could not hear when the whistling was coming from. I heard it again and again. It was distant and eerie, okay, mournful and sad. Something felt very off, but I couldn't place it. I don't know why I decided to do it, but something deep down compelled to me to whistle back, and so I did. I am IMAX, the eerie mournful tune, watching as my breath came out like smoke. There was a slight pause before I heard the tune again. It was still airy and mournful, but something was strong. It sounded closer. It wasn't obvious at first, but in a closer listen, the tune was definitely closer. I got a sudden chill down back as my spine. Why would you whistle back? But I think it's a sense. Alright. Chill down my back as the wrongness of the situation fills my mind. Then I heard it again. It was even closer, so close in fact that I thought I could even place the direction it came from. I looked to my right and nothing. I could still hear whistling coming from that direction, but I couldn't see anyone. All I saw was a large clump of strings in the distance, swaying lazily in the breeze. As I looked at that clump, I caught a very bad feeling. My brain was screaming every second that I gazed upon that clump. As I heard the whistling get closer, I could have sworn I saw the clump move. Slowly and sluggishly, the clump appeared to almost glide it through the air and come closer. I had enough and immediately hopped on my bike. I pedaled furiously, doing my best to get home as fast as possible. But again, my years of poor health decisions caught up to me. They had to stop. Lest I pass out, I grounded to a halt and I listened, trying to calm my furious panting. At first, I heard silence, and then my heart sunk. The sad tune echoed out once more. It was still on my tail, and it sounded close. I looked into the hops, and this time I saw it. It was the same clump, and it definitely was moving faster. And now I was still tired, but I had to keep going. So I jerked my bike up once more, and I pedaled for my life. The adrenaline course. Sorry, guys, it's very hard. Coursing through my veins did a little to help, but not by much. He looked back for those who knows what reason, and I immediately regretted doing so. I saw what it was. It wasn't a clump of strings, but a human head. What I thought was strings was actually matted black hair. I turned back around, not wanting to see more. I felt my spirits rise a little as I saw the entrance to my road. I quickly turned down it, but I could still hear the whistling sadly behind me. It was close, too close. As I made it to my driveway, I plugged the bike, not caring to bring it inside. I quickly rushed up the steps and opened the screen door. I had locked it, just in case I fumbled around. Trying to get out my spare house key, I would periodically bang on the door and yell, "Mom, open up, please." But I received no reply. She must have been sleeping. I heard the whistling fast approaching. I saw the head, a mess of long jet black hair that obscured the face of the monster. I continued to frantically look for a spare key. It wasn't in its usual spot. So instead, I searched and sat on my porch. My heart rate was racing as I heard it even got closer. If I could just get inside, I would be safe. My hopes died, however, as I saw the thing finally reach the lawn. It did not hesitate and flung itself forward with a terrifying speed. Uh, like silenced. The screeching just went quiet. It didn't fade, but instead it just stopped instantly as if someone had hit the mute button. I slowly cracked and I opened and I expected to see the head at the door. Opened my eyes, sorry, ready to rip me apart. But instead I saw nothing. There was no head. The keys under the gnome. I looked at the small ceramic garden decoration we kept on her porch. Sure enough, I lifted him up. There was the key. Had this all been a hallucination? Had I imagined it all? I laughed quietly to myself. Must have been some weird what? Hallucinate art. Drop. Drop a soft, airy, and mournful tune, and it was coming from the other side of the door. Oh, thank you so much. Whatever. Let's see your name. If I printed your name in this. I don't think that's enough story because I don't think this is the full story. Okay, so this name of this story is called The Floating Head, which I found on random Reddit. So let me just look for the name. So, and it is written by, I don't know, Ara Chinity. And the title is I Heard Whistling in the Hops and Whistled Back. Big mistake. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. I hope you like this story. If you want me to continue more Reddit stories, and this is my first Reddit story, and it may not be that good, but please tell me.